it's a SavaniSis again, and today what we're going to talk about is perception is your reality. If you can change your perception, you'll be able to have a completely different experience in life. Stay tuned. So perception is your reality. So what does that mean? Well, we all perceive the world in a different way. So you might be coming from a certain place of conditioning, of experiences in your life, and part of your personality that enables you to see the world in a specific way. So what your reality is true for you, and that is your truth. But somebody else might be experiencing a different kind of reality. Now this sounds strange because we're all in the same world, but yet we see the world completely differently. Now I'll give you some examples. Let's say if you're a very angry person, right, Kashmir?
Yeah.
Just imagine, oh, I'm so angry.
I'm so angry.
And you generally live your life as an angry person. When something happens outside of you, how you will see it will be very different from someone who is constantly happy or just grateful or just sees things going so well for them. And this is actually very, very true. If you are very careful in observing yourself as well as your friends or other people that you know that see things in a different way, you'll find that the same event can cause a completely different reaction and response. So how you perceive your reality also causes you to react in a certain way. So if you're an angry person, somebody doing something outside of you and they might be just, I don't know, making some irritating noise in the background, that will make you very angry. You'll be like, oh, this is so annoying. I just want to punch that person. Yeah,
because you're seeing everything through an angry lens.
Yes, but let's say if you wake up and you're the type of person that just feels so much gratitude and a lot of the times just feels really good inside, you've got that Sukha going on, that inner joy, that person making that irritating sound won't bother you at all. In fact, you'll be thinking, oh, I'd love to come up and speak to that person. You know, I wonder what they're doing. So it will be a completely different reaction. Your response will be very different because you're coming from that place. So I'll give you another example. An experiment was done, Kashmir, I don't know if you've heard of this. Dr. David Hawkins explained this in his book, Power versus Force. And what he said was they had prisoners in a jail and all of them were exposed to the same extreme stressful environment. Okay, nobody had it better than the other person. They're all the same in terms of the type of stress that the environment and the conditions that they're in.
Yes.
But why is it that with all these prisoners, they all responded or reacted in different ways to this stressful environment? So there are those prisoners that committed suicide, who couldn't take it anymore. So their level of consciousness was very, very low. They were either in fear or even apathy or shame or guilt. Now they're very low, dense vibrations, very low energy. So from that place, they found this environment so stressful that they could not live anymore. So they killed themselves. And then we had another group who had more mental health issues. So they weren't at the point of killing themselves, but they're at the point that they couldn't cope. It was just too much for them. So they ended up having anxiety, depression, maybe some suicidal thoughts, but not actually committing suicide. Some sort of mental health issue, major mental health issue that got them onto medication and affected their ability to function. Then you have the others that were very aggressive and angry and wanted to harm others. And they came from a place of anger, right? And they had a real anger inside of them and they just wanted to lash out and hurt others because of this extremely stressful environment. This is how they coped. And then they had others that actually said, right, I'm in prison for this length of time. I might as well make best use of it. So maybe I'll learn something. In prisons, we know that some prisons we have courses and they support the prisoners with new learning and new courses and new skills. So there will be those prisoners that are really looking to develop their skills and to really learn something and use that time to learn. And then there were others who started questioning, what's life all about? They started to read books. and really question and really analyze certain things and really reflect on their life to say, how would I be when I come out of prison? Would I be someone different? And then you get another level of prisoners. Now remember, all these people are still in the same stressful situation. You get other ones who actually turn to spiritual growth. They have this spiritual awakening, they meditate, they end up, even some of them, having some sort of spiritual enlightenment through their prison experience. Now see the broad spectrum of how people reacted or responded to that same external stressful environment. It was the same for everyone, but yet it affected people in different ways. So this is what we're saying. It's the place that you're coming from that you perceive your reality. If you come from a place of fear, everything is fearful. If you've got extreme fear, even crossing the road will be fearful for you, because you'll think, what if I get hit by a car? What if this happens? What if that happens? And this will affect the choices in your life that you make as well. If you come from a place of power and limitless and feeling you have full control over everything, right? How would you be living your life, and how would you see things?
Invincible power. They're operating through the lens of level of consciousness that they're vibrating at. So it depends what your level of consciousness is. This is how you're seeing the world and operating from.
So this will affect you in many different ways in your life. It'll also almost determine whether you're going to be living a more happier life or more
miserable life.
That's it. So what can we do about this? You know, what can you do as an individual about this? Well, one of the most important things is working on your perception. So just being aware of it, that, okay, this is how I'm seeing it. Where am I coming from right now? How am I feeling right now? Because how you're feeling is actually affecting how you're seeing that reality and maybe how you're responding to it. So when I know that if I've had a moment of extreme stress, everything becomes stressful. You know, even the smallest things of writing an email to somebody might become stressful because I'm already stressed out or I'm already frustrated. Whereas if you're in a happy place, writing that email would be a breeze. You wouldn't even think about it. You'll just write it and send it, and it wouldn't be a problem at all. So the one thing to do is awareness. You know, having awareness that you're feeling this in a certain way. And also, can you give the situation a particular meaning? Can you change the meaning of what you give it, right?
Yes.
So if somebody's being bad to you, you could say,
how dare they be bad to me? They're making me feel horrible. That's so rude. How can they do that?
Or you can change the meaning to it and say something else, which is
have an understanding attitude.
That's it.
Come from a level of understanding and compassion.
For example, they must be going through a really hard time. You know, there must be something in their life, and you're not excusing the behavior. Remember that. All you're doing is you're just coming from a level of understanding so that you don't react in that certain way and get angry or respond in a hostile way. So all you're doing is just having that understanding of, okay, they must be having a hard time. They must be going through something really difficult, and this is why they're lashing out a bit.
Because, you know, hurt people hurt others because they're going through their own insecurities and their own issues. So having an understanding makes you realize why they are reacting in such a way.
Yeah, so remember, when you're changing your perception of your reality, it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. But the more you do this, the more you look for a different meaning that you can give to an event that's happening, the more that you can have an understanding about the other person or what's happening outside of you. And the more that you have the awareness inside of you of what's going on, you're able to then change your perception over time. And so then you no longer see the world in a certain way. You actually are able to see the world differently, in a better way, that's going to enhance you and make you feel good and activate even more Sukha, right?
Yes.
That's it. Perception is your reality is a huge topic, but we just thought we'll just go through a little snippet of it, and we will be talking about this more, right, Kashmir?
Yes, we'll talk about this more in further videos. I hope that was a cute little inspiration for you. Hit the subscribe button to stay tuned for more videos. Hit the like button, and we shall see you on the next one. Bye for now.